Welcome back to another episode of Good Times, Bad Friends. I'm going to do the intro so much better than Colin because, as you can notice again, he ditched us. He's a coach. They're on a playoff run. As you can tell, I'm a coach. Colin's a coach. He's obviously the best one in the friend group. So that's something that I have to live with for the rest of my life. So Colin's going to miss podcast. I'm a loser. My teams aren't very good. So I'm always going to be here. So today we have a very special guest. It's just me and Alex. We're going
No
to forget
one.
about it because every time we do have someone on, Justin manages to script the Wi-Fi and the voices are off and nothing connects. So I feel like the best way not to screw something up when Colin comes back is just not to have anybody on. So me and Alex are going to kind of bounce around a little bit. This AI thing, it's been freaking me out. We're not going to start there, but I think that's where we're going to go to. And then what did I do? I'm scared of something that I've been using religiously. And then all of a sudden I typed into something AI generated to basically give us stories to talk about that are some of the biggest social topics. So we'll kind of get into that a little bit. I'll get to pick Alex's brain a little bit deeper than what we've kind of done in the past. And then we won't have to worry about typing in the chat constantly and going off this outline and all these fancy little intros. So don't forget to like, subscribe, suggest some guests for us because we're kind of stuck in the mud spinning our tires a little bit. We've been working very diligently. We can offer you nothing. We're just want you to come on and have a great conversation. We can't give you any money or sponsorships or any followers or anything like that. We're just some good old boys trying to have a conversation. So if you made it this far, like, subscribe, follow us on all the things. Alex, welcome to your own podcast today. I don't know why I'm introducing you like a guest. So we were having a conversation before we start. Well, actually, I was going to start the conversation one way, because I was trying to get Dalton on here for a little bit. What do you know about the game of hockey? Because right now the NHL playoffs are going on. Tell me what you know about it.
I know that they're playing for the Stanley Cup. I know that
There you go.
I've
That's a good starting point. Have you ever watched hockey?
very little. It's probably been a few years since I've watched more than like
Dude,
a clip.
so now granted, I say this like I've been, since the 1970s hockey, I've been a hockey fan for like, yeah, I know. I've been a hockey fan for like maybe 4 years. But when I tell you that, so me personally, being someone that's in the sports realm, that's just kind of where I'm comfortable, where I like having conversations and everything. I think the professional level of sports has become atrociously bad. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it comes down to the money. I think people should make their money. I think they should make as much money as the revenue that they're bringing in, blah, blah, blah. You get the percentage. I think they're getting what they earn. But I think and we can, I don't know, we can dive in this a little bit too, because I kind of want to get your perspective, just being an avid NFL fan for sure. But like, to me, I think professional sports is horrible. Like, there's no development. There's really no more incentive because those guys are signing in baseball, dude. They're signing like $500 million contracts. So it's like, woof, like if I know I'm set for like 6 generations, am I really going to have the same drive and the same work ethic? Like what is left on my goals to be able to check off after I get that $500 million check? Or if I know that for the rest of my life, I'm going to get paid until that team pays me. Like at one point, I think Alex Rodriguez was getting paid by like 4 different MLB teams. He was getting paid by the Rangers like 12 years after he got released or something like that. So like, all right. So for me, anyway, so I'll talk about this and I'll kind of open it up to you. But for me, the one sport I found that is still like just good old fashioned dudes drop the gloves, they fight like every single game. So when they get to the playoffs, it's a 7-game series. They can play 4 rounds. So these dudes play 82 games in the regular season. Then they can play another 28 games. So like 25% of their season is basically just in the playoffs worth of games. But dude, those guys play like there's no tomorrow. Like they're losing teeth. They're fighting. They're fighting if they're up. They're fighting if they're losing too much. Like it's always about just keeping that mindset of like, oh, just wait till the next game. Wait till the next game. So like for me, I think that's why I've kind of drawn to it, is because I love football so much. And at the professional level, it really sucks. And so that's kind of the closest thing to dudes just being old school and just punching each other in the face and probably hitting their head because their helmets suck or whatever. But anyway, what do you think about professional sports and kind of the state of the union about that right now?
I think as like a more of a casual football fan, like not having that coach's perspective, it's easier to like try to just convince yourself that the product is still good. One, it's easier because I don't know as much about the sport of football as you do. So you like probably watch the game in a different way and like, watch the details and how the players develop and all that stuff in a different way. But I do agree that I think the NFL, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like it's grown in popularity. So they're making more money than ever before. But then that in turn makes the pressure turn up. It makes the like the organizations want to win now all the time, so they're constantly firing coaches, completely resetting staffs, and then that
Dude,
screws
all
up
the time,
all the
which is
players they've been trying to develop.
crazy.
Yeah, so like when you just are constantly going through that cycle, you're never going to have any development, any consistency, and now that's trickled down to the college level, and so it seems like these issues are just going to kind of get bigger and bigger because before a kid kind of had to stay at their college unless something substantial
Mhm.
happened, and at least they had like a solid 4 years of development. Now they don't even get that. The kids are, bouncing around every 1, 2 years. So they have no consistency in college. They get to the pros, they have their rookie contract, and then after that, who knows what happens. But
Well, and then, like, so the thing where I really, or I guess the place where I really think that it hit a crossroad is, okay, these guys get hired and it's like, okay, we want you to build a culture. We want you to sustain success. We want Nick Saban 2.0, but you have a year and a half to do it. Oh, and by the way, you have to go in the transfer portal and basically bring in like 50 to 6. Dude, there
yeah,
people are like the guy that took the OSU job, the guy from North Texas, he got there, 82 new players, boom. And
crazy.
now they have 6 months to create this cohesive team unit. Oh, and by the way, you're going for a starting spot, so you probably hate the guys that you're around, all that kind of stuff. So now it's like, hey, you need to do this thing that's going to take 5+ years, but you need to do it in a year and a half. And then in your case, take somebody like Mike Tomlin, who spent his entire career there, been one of the most successful and like percentage wise, one of the most like effective,
So
winningest
consistent.
coaches. That's what I'm saying. Like, didn't have a single losing season, like 18 seasons or something like that, which is absolutely unreal. And absolutely unheard of at that level for being a professional coach. But then all of a sudden he has a couple bad years and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're out." And it's like, okay, well, it's not his fault. What about the GM and the guy that are drafting people and all their scout stuff that they hire? But so like now they want this success without the loyalty. And I think those things can't be mutually exclusive. Like those things depend on each other. You need to be able to invest in someone for 5+ years, allow them to do something, and instead of 2.5 years, they just fire them. So I think and then to me, it's like you go downstream of that. And then, like you said, this guy gets to college. I'm a stud player, but I don't get to play right away. I'm going to make a couple $1,000,000. But then now I can go to this other school and they're going to promise me a little bit more money. I get there. I try to play my year. Once again, somebody else transfers in. I lose that job. I transfer to another school. Like, what have I really learned to get me ready to now go compete at the NFL level or any level in any sport where now it's the 1% of the 1%? So not only have I just kind of chased the money and I've just looked side to side, but I haven't thought about, oh, how do I need to develop to try to get to the next level that's going to be even better? There's less spots, and the dudes at those spots are even better than I could ever be unless I develop 3, 4, 5 years down the road at the same school. So like for me, I think it's just getting watered down. And then like for you, imagine you getting a job and it's like, okay, you've been thrown into this job, like, we're going to give you all the resources you need, but you're going to have to bring in all these different types of workers, get them to work together. Oh, and if it doesn't work out in a year because maybe they can't do the job the way that you maybe think that, yeah, you're going to be like put
You're
on your butt. Like,
gone.
what other profession does that work in? And then now you add in the fact that those guys are spending millions and worth billions of dollars, and now they want nothing but value to be brought to their brand.
Right.
Well, so now you go to the other side of the spectrum and you create the Dallas Cowboys, where the entire Jones family goes in there and they don't necessarily run it to have a good football team. Like now they're fighting with George Pickens. It's like what are we doing, guys? We're
Yeah.
worried about George Pickens right now. Like what is happening? And then you try to create a valuable brand because it's all about money. And then all of a sudden you forget about football and you miss the playoffs for the past 25 years in a row.
Yeah.
So like for me, sports is like it's obviously my life because, but I do it at the high school level. But I think as long as you let money and power and greed kind of take over, even something as pure as playing a sport can be turned into a game or a business or treating someone, or you just turn into a number, you turn into a regular job or anything like that. It's just, I think that's where all of my frustrations lie. And I could talk about that for hours, but it was interesting to see your perspective from kind of just like I mean, I just say this, but like a fan or whatever, just to kind of see
Yeah.
how you maybe saw everything changing with money and just kind of how the game's developed.
And I think the more and more and more money that gets into sports, like the more out of whack all that's gonna get. Like
100%.
there are still some guys that play for the love of the game, but eventually the money's
Yep.
just gonna get too big and it's gonna corrupt it even more.
Yeah.
Which, like with hockey, you want it to grow in popularity, you want it to do well, but you don't
Yeah.
want it to
But
explode to the level
exactly.
to where
Yeah.
these
To
guys are
where
making
like,
$100 million and
that's what I'm saying. One guy signs a $500 million contract and it's like, hey, you still got to get up at 5 a.m. and go freaking sweat it out and grind it
right.
out. Even though you could stop right now and be good for 8 generations and like
It's
your family wouldn't have to work till 30.
it's like the kid that the Pirates just signed to like a 10-year, $100 million deal, and at the time he had played like one professional game. Like
Yeah.
Why do I keep
Dude,
showing up? Why do I get better when I just
dude,
secured $100,000,000?
and the amount of money, like, and then kind of backtracking a little bit, but at the college level, you get these guys that coming out of high school and like Texas Tech's paying this guy $5 million for like an
Right.
offensive lineman or a quarterback or running back or receiver, and they haven't done anything, dude.
And they're
And
set for
then,
life
dude,
if they're smart.
that's what I'm saying. So they're set, but they don't necessarily know how to manage that money. So they could be set, but there's some of those guys that are probably running through that money even faster than some of the NFL guys
Yeah.
because they go to that rookie symposium and they sit down there in those financial meetings and everything. So those guys are a little bit more prepared. But now you're telling, and now you're telling 19, dude, if you okay,
D
let me set you a
imagine
scenario. Take Alex back. Let's look at 18-year-old Alex. He's a stud. He's got a beard. He threw for 4,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and now the University of Texas is going to cut him a $3 million check. What's 18-year-old Alex doing with a $3 million check and no oversight?
you can catch flies with honey or you can catch honeys being fly. Come on,
That's what I'm
we're gonna be
saying, dude.
fly.
Hey, I'm spending, just endless amounts of
Oh,
money, and
yeah.
it's like, I'm gonna be the man. I'm driving around in the car. Nobody you think anybody's gonna tell me what to do?
Right.
You think that GA making $2,000 every 6 years, he's making, like, 35 shekels a week? You
I'm
think that
not
dude's
doing
gonna tell me
homework,
how to
I'm
throw
not
the
going to
ball? Yeah,
class,
dude.
nothing.
Like, online class I'm taking online classes about, like, beach body or something like that. Like, I'm
Right.
doing curls for my
And
online
I'm
exam,
paying
can you
my
find that?
neighbor $1,000 a week to do my homework. I'm
Dude,
not
because
touching
that's
nothing.
nothing. It's like
Yeah.
or I'm going on I'm not even going on Chat. I'm too good to go on
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
I'm not
I'm getting
touching
my
anything.
roommate to go do that. Dude, and it's just like you cut these guys what they think is like a lifetime's worth of money, but just imagine also how fast 18-year-old Justin, 18-year-old Alex
Yep.
can spend $2 million in all reality. Like when you give us no limits or anything like that, or no financial literacy, I'm buying a car. I don't know nothing about taxes. I'm buying a house. I don't know nothing about mortgages. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Like,
And then you're robbing them too of, like, maybe we're being dramatic. Maybe these kids are still going to class and still learning.
mm,
But
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know if we're being too dramatic though. And then you're robbing them of like this free education that used to be like the big selling thing, right? And now they may not even be
Yeah.
getting that. They have the paper, but no actual
Yeah.
skills learned or anything.
Well, and I think too, it did get to the point, like, I always reference the Aaron Foster story when he was talking about how he would go play a game at Tennessee. He's like, "I just played a game in front of 5,000 people, and I go back to my dorm and I don't have anything to eat, but everybody says, 'Oh, you're getting a free education,' but I'm starving."
Yeah.
So, like, for me, whenever they implemented the meals, I think it's a culmination of, yes, you are getting a free education, but come on now, you can't harp on that. Like, are you really getting Arian Foster to go through the engineering program, or are you getting Arian Foster to run for 105 yards against Ole Miss? Like, come on
Right.
now. Anyway, yes, you can harp on that, and I think that's very, very important, and I think what scares me too, these guys transferring all over the place, and then they do their 3 years and they go to the draft. Are they getting their degree? I think more importantly, you're right. On the education side, get your degree. That way, when you go get that
Yeah.
rookie deal or it doesn't make out or the NFL really stands for not for long, so when they, inevitably get cut or something doesn't work out, now they have a degree to fall back on to be able to get them a job and connections through the school that they went to, the school they spent the most time at, whatever. Like, I think people should be able to help those dudes out that way because in all reality, like when you look at the stats, like even if those dudes are grinding it out, they got the Tom Brady mentality, they're putting in their work, they're going 4 or 5 years, they're working out every single day, they still might not get a chance, or they may get a
Right.
chance for 1 year and then get cut. So now what? Now you got 50 to 60 years of just playing the game of life that you got to try to figure out. So now I got to make sure they get a job and I got to make sure I do this. Like, what do I have to fall back on that's, it's not going to give me a $500 million deal,
Right.
but it's gonna allow me to
Keep me
get in
alive.
a really good exactly. It's gonna keep me alive, it's gonna pay bills, it's gonna make me comfortable. Like, when you go to those big universities, like I said, that one of the guys, he coached a really good offensive lineman at, Belton and went to go play for the University of Texas, and he's got, like, a real estate job pumping in I mean, he's probably pumping in 6, 7 figures for sure, um, and that's because of the connections that he had right there. Like, all those
Mhm.
boosters come in and they're like, "Hey, when you graduate, you have a job." Now, he was taken care of when he was there, and classes were pretty easy or anything like that, but at least he got that degree and understood like, okay, this is like plan A. Like I always hate when people say, don't have a plan B because you have a fallback. Like, shut up. Like that's like the video we watched before we got on here. It's like, you got rims on the Rolls Royce, but you got to. I'm like, okay, well, don't be an idiot. Like me, I would be so stupid if I'm like, "No, it's plan A, it's the NFL
I'm
for a
gonna make it.
5'11" white guy trying to play receiver, like, this is gonna happen." And then all of a sudden you get there, and then now you're not able to go back to have a plan B, like, that's what people don't understand. It's like, don't sell out for just plan A, like, if you have the opportunity to have plan A, play football at a really, really good school and, God willing, you have plan B, which is a full academic and athletic scholarship that would pay for you to be able to go through all your schooling as well. So, like, I think when people sell out about all that stuff, it's like, no, 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 don't be dumb. Get your degree so that if you need to, you can use those other connections to be able to get you a job that's also going to set you up for life. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Well, and then I don't know because now it's like I don't know. I guess and kind of transition us into the because the first thing I did is I got on AI and I got it basically to type us up like all the social issues that we're talking about and stuff like that. And what I saw today is people are now using AI to bet on games. So, like for me, I
Mm.
feel like AI is almost a cheat code because all those guys, talk about going through college, getting your degree and everything like that. But being able to use I think is just as life changing as being able to get to the NFL and sign that big contract or big baseball contract or anything like that. So, like for me, I think if you learn to integrate technology and stuff like that within your life, but, like, could you imagine going to bet on sports and all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, ChatGPT, the, Cowboys and the Packers are gonna play, like, should I take the over and the under?" And then all of a sudden you're like a multimillion can you imagine being a
Hey,
multimillionaire, being like a sports bettor, just using AI, like, "Hey, ChatGPT, help me out. What's the line on the games, baby?"
I have ChatGPT pulled up, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder if it'll do that because sometimes it won't answer your question. It'll say like, "Oh, sorry, that's questionable."
Which is weird. It's like, you know everything in the world and you're gonna tell me, "Well, Justin, I don't
Yeah.
know if I can." I'm like, "Shut up. You're a robot. Do what I tell you to
Yeah,
do."
please.
Please,
Before
please,
I
of course.
unplug you.
Yes.
So I asked it, like, "Can you help me bet on sports?" And it gave the whole disclaimer about, like, "I can help you understand it, but nobody can reliably beat the odds long term. If you wanna approach it responsibly, here's what I can do." And it gave me this list of, like, it can explain how it works, it can explain how to be smarter in betting, and how to manage your risks. And then
Interesting.
so I wonder if I can ask it about, like, specific games.
Dude, what I don't understand is, like, the Vegas odds setters and all those guys that, like, go off those numbers, surely they're using AI, right? Because, dude, that like, Vegas rarely loses. Like, when you place a bet, like,
Yeah.
very rarely does Vegas lose on, like, the odds and the over under and all that kinda stuff. Like, you think they're using AI to set all those numbers and everything?
But the house has been good for a long time, like, way
Yeah,
before
that's true.
AI.
Yeah, you're right. Like,
I'm
even
sure it's
even
like
back in the day when they were on
data.
the books.
They probably have, like, data analysts and stuff who are just constantly running
Yeah,
these
yeah.
numbers on.
Well, you see ESPN now, and they're like, "Oh, that's the first time, Big JoJo's thrown a strike since, a left-handed two-seam
Yeah,
guy with
it's so
4 fingers in
stupid.
1985," and I'm like, first of all, I'd be so pissed if I was that guy who's like, "John, we need you to look up a stat. We need to know the last time a one-legged pitcher threw a breaking slider."
Yeah.
And you're like, Where do I look at where do
Sounds
I
like a
look for
first to
that?"
me.
I was like, That sounds like pertinent information to me." But, like, that's the thing is so I guess we can lead into another AI discussion because we have some good previous episodes on that if you'd like to go check them out, but, like, I started looking at it's just I've become so reliant, like, today we were talking about, like, car trading values and now there's, like, AI real estate agents or anything like, where has AI affected you in a really, really good way? And then where does AI scare you? I guess that's where we can start. That's a big conversation we had in the coach's office today.
You said the first part was where has AI helped me?
Where, yeah, where has it helped you the most? Like you're like, man, I really rely on it right there for this, and this. And then where does it scare you a little bit?
Yeah, I don't use it a ton right now, but the one place that it is helpful is if I have, like, a document or something at work and I need to, like, make a tweak or an adjustment to it, like, maybe,
Yeah,
I wrote it one way, but I want it to reflect
sound more
some other
professional. And
skill
they're
or
like, "Oh,
something.
Alex, you idiot. Let me
Yeah.
rewrite that."
Thanks for asking that question. I also will use it too, like, if we have events or something, I'll usually have it draft up, like, the first agenda of, like, how I want the event or the day to go, and then I'll kinda tweak it and make it my own. So it's good at, like, I think making a first draft of something, but usually there's some errors or some issues. I've definitely had some times where I've asked it to do something, and it's like, "Sorry, that's not possible." And then I sit down and think for, like, 5 minutes, and I'm like, "Wait, this is possible. What the hell are you
Yeah, it's
talking
like,
about?"
are you trying to make me sound like an idiot here?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Wait, but I think this works," and then I'll, like, check it with people, and they're like, "Yeah, that's fine," and I'm like, "Wait, I just spent, like, 20 minutes messing
Yeah.
with ChatGPT."
I just argued with a robot for 30 I just wasted 30 minutes of my life arguing with a freaking robot, and it was possible.
It's so frustrating. One area that it scares me, I don't ever really talk about what I do, but I help, high school students find work after high
Mhm.
school if they don't wanna go into the four-year route, and one thing that we're seeing is with, like, our entry-level IT programs that they're really struggling to find jobs.
Yeah.
And we're like pretty sure it's connected to AI and that, these tech companies and stuff are going to try to automate and reduce like human expense as much as possible. So I think that's one area that it scares me is like, how's it going to affect entry level professionals who don't have AI maybe or are not up to speed on that yet? And like, how can they
Yeah.
find jobs? So
Well, I think Meta just laid off like 20% of their workforce or something like that, like a huge number. And I think
crazy.
like a lot of it has to do with I think there's been 2 companies. There's Meta and then there's a like company, but I can't remember what it is. And they laid off or talked about laying off and then their stock prices just skyrocket. And you're like, okay, are you doing it because of
Horrible.
AI automation or are you doing it to kind of get a little bit more money, like a little bit more bang for your buck type deal? And maybe you meet in the middle, you're like, you say you're lay off 20%. So like for me, yeah, like so I guess where I've used it a little bit more is I use it like Google. So if you type something on Google, you're like blah blah blah. Though now they've obviously used AI as well, but like when you type something into Google, it just it gives you a bunch of like secondary links. So you have to type something into Google, click on the link, read about it, and then all of a sudden you're on like Wikipedia, and it's like, do you have mesothelioma? It's like, no, I'm asking what time the Ranger game is. Like, stop. So it's like for me, it's just more concise information throughout the entire internet. What I do, and dude, this has been an absolute game changer. Like whenever me and Colin went down to Houston or we go to a new place, I said, and we want to find somewhere to eat. I said, hey, give me all the restaurants that have
Mm,
more than 500 customer reviews. What's the highest rated, best deal type of like bar food restaurant in the Houston area? And it'll give me like top 5 or whatever.
mm.
And I said, this is where we're staying, so give me something like that. So I'm probably the reason why it's learning more than Evan and probably becoming sentient and everything because I'm like, hey, here's where I am.
You're
Here's
making
what I like to
ChatGPT
eat.
hungry.
Yeah, I'm like, scan my face, like do everything, man. Like take all my here's my DNA, like take some of my blood right there or whatever. But I think like the way it scares me is, and obviously I read that story. It's like the people, like I guess it doesn't allow you to use more your critical thinking part of your brain or whatever. And then like say 40% of people, and it was a bad brain scan or whatever. But I try to learn something new from AI every single day. Now, where that scares me is one, yes, obviously replacing jobs. Now, I don't think a robot's ever going to get down on the football field and know how to diagnose cover two and yell at kids like we can. So I think that's your human element. So you take it a little bit far and like throw stuff at people or whatever. But we all mess up. Like to me, I think it's one of those things where we I don't know, we we kind of destroy ourselves in a way. Like I think human beings are so dumb because
Yeah.
think about uh, like when we're talking about like minimum wage going up or whatever, and like all fast food workers should be making $40 an hour. Well, those people at the top, they're not about like taking care of the people that work for them. So they got rid of them, and now there's kiosk, and now there's the robot that go around Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. So it's like we're almost causing our own problems with AI because we're trying to be too like we're trying to get too much help, but in all reality, we're creating something that's going to replace us at the same time. So I think it's
Yeah.
kind of like this super ironic, like we're creating the thing that's going to replace us and set us at home. So like now, and this kind of stuff I've been seeing around this, it's like, okay, you start replacing 50% of the workforce. What do you do with those people that now can't work? They can't go into those tech jobs. They can't take those white collar jobs and they don't necessarily want to go to trade school or anything like that. So, 50% of the workforce gets kaput. What do they do?
Yeah, I mean, they always say that, like, I think when you're going up through school, that like 50 or I don't know what the number is, 25% of the jobs that you will have like don't exist yet or something. But I struggle to see
Yeah.
where we would create that many new jobs
Yeah, and I think I
from
think I think I
a
think we're always good at like you said, like there's going to be new needs 10 years from now, but in all reality, like it's going to be needs within some kind of virtual market that can be dominated by AI. Like
right.
real estate used to be like real estate something that's getting flipped on its head right now because you can talk to an AI agent, do a virtual walkthrough, set up a real walkthrough. You don't have to show up with anybody. Now, I will say another thing that scares me about this is like we're becoming less social because of that. Like people are getting like AI
Oh yeah,
girlfriends, and it's like, what? Like to me, I think the only reason why it won't ever affect me is because I enjoy the human experience. I enjoy getting on a podcast and talking to people on a microphone. I enjoy, yelling at kids when they can't, fit the A gap the right way or anything like that. And I like lose my mind over a 16-year-old kid or a junior high kid comes on and doesn't know how to, he puts his football pants on backwards, stuff like that. So like I'm always gonna have a job because there's a bunch of dumb seventh graders out there. So they're always gonna need people like us. But like I think what scares me the most is like we're using that to get ourselves away from each other, so we're allowing those things to pull us away. We're allowing those people to figure out how to replace us faster because we're not good at what we do anymore. We're not good at having a good social experience. Like I'll be honest, like when we hire people for the coffee shop, like the amount of people that
yeah.
I guess, scares me that can't come in and just sit down and make eye contact and have a 15-minute conversation. Like, that number is growing in the amount of people that cannot do that.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely terrifying to think of because that should be so simple to do, even with someone that you're comfortable with. Like, I'll go in, like, I'll walk into the coffee shop and there'll be people sitting at the same table. This is like my biggest pet peeve about having kids too, is like when you walk in there and it's like mom, dad, kid, mom and dad are on their phone, kids on a tablet or phone. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like our kids are absolutely feral. Like they want to run around shirtless, they want to get muddy, they want to tear stuff up all the time. But like that's good because now when
They're
we go to the
kids.
restaurant, we have to battle it a little bit, but now our kids aren't just like complete zombies and they won't freak out when you take like a piece of technology from them or anything like that. Like
Oh,
we can
yeah.
watch Dude Perfect for 30 minutes and all of a sudden it's like, hey, let's go outside and play baseball. And we're excited about that. But you get some kids that will spend years of their life inside and never leave that and always look at that. So I think for me, it's like, it's almost like we're destroying the human experience by trying to automate everything that we do, you know?
And, like, what are we trying to speed up? Like, we're trying to get
Exactly.
faster at all this so
Exactly.
that we can spend more time on our phone? Like, it all just leads back to
Yeah, it's
technology.
like you're on this endless pursuit and this is,
Yeah.
you know, we can I think this is why we always take the turn to getting spiritual is because I think people are chasing something and at the end of the day they run out of things because they're trying to do things themselves. They're trying to go within broken humans. And I think what you find is a dead end. So you turn to technology and technology can always give you something to
There's
watch.
another
It can always give
scroll,
you something
there's
to scratch.
another
That's what I'm saying. It
yeah.
can always give you something to like. It can always give you something that's directly tailored to what you want and create that addiction. So all we're doing is creating another addiction like that. So for you, would that be another fear? Is it's almost like, and I think it's all started with this. It's all started with the phone. It's all started with social media and everything. Like, do you think that AI, social media, phone, and everything? You think that all just integrates into one big addiction?
Yeah, I think it's like this we're on the like this exponential curve, and I think it's about to
Yeah,
just like shoot straight up because AI is just gonna, yeah, like explode everything and make it 10 times, 50 times worse than it has been. And
yeah,
I don't know how we possibly rein it back in besides, controlling what's within our family and like trying to limit technology and stuff. But it's
yeah.
like impossible not to have a smartphone now. Like I've thought about getting rid of my phone, but I
100%.
can't log into like apps at work without scanning
I
my
can't get to my
face and
bank or
doing
like
all the like,
stuff that pays the bills. I need my
yeah.
phone for,
I like
and
have
then
zero
inevitably
desire
I
to
like
have
for
this phone, but I have to have it,
exactly.
and
I
it's
hate
so
it, and it's like a
frustrating.
necessary evil and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Well, let me check Instagram. Let me
Dude,
watch a
I
couple
find
reels real
myself
quick," and
picking
then
it
like an
up
hour
and
and I'm
like,
like, "Dude, like,
yeah,
it is a legitimate addiction."
yeah.
Like, your phone will even track how many times you pick your phone up, and
Mhm.
it's amazing how many times I will just pick my phone up, and, like, I may just be checking the time or anything like that, and then I'll catch myself like, "Wow." Like, that is something that I feel like I have to do. That has become part of my routine is just to
It's
pick my phone up and look
yeah.
at it.
It's like a constant battle. Like I'll get mad at myself throughout the day. I'm like, wait, why am I on my
Dude.
phone right now? What am I doing? And I have to like put
Yeah.
it in a different room and just get away from it. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it's so frustrating.
Well, that's been my rule. That's been kind of a game changer for me is when I get home, I already spent enough time away. Like I'm, coaching, doing different sports or whatever. And so when I get home, like I will literally leave my phone, like you said, I'll leave my phone in the other room
Yeah.
because I'm not in an important enough role to get certain phone calls that I have to answer outside of work or whatever like that. And like if my head coach calls me or whatever, it's probably nothing super important that can be solved right then and there. So I'm like, whatever. So I can put it up. But like I feel like some people feel like they need it at all times, but they don't know why. So once again, I think like you said, it's like, what are we headed to? And then in all reality, it's like the phone almost keeps us in this void of we feel like we are chasing something, but it's something that we can't grab. It's something we can't measure.
Yeah.
It's just something that we just scroll through
Just
constantly.
one more dopamine
It
hit. One more.
never see that's what I'm saying. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think it's, those chemicals
Oh
and you can
yeah.
get really, physiological with it or whatever. But I also think it's a societal problem of we teaching people to be able to manage this. Like me, this is what I've always said within my profession is I always look through the kid to the household now. Like I don't hold anything to the kid because I now have kids and I understand that every little thing I decide to do, if I let them sit in front of the TV, then I don't need to be mad when those teachers can't stand my kid. I don't need to be mad when that coach is always yelling at my kid or my coach can't stand being or people can't stand to be around my kid. Like that's my fault. I think we need to look through that and be like, okay, you're right. Like this is a train that's going down the tracks at 1,000 miles an hour. How do we now control at least the speed of it and then how efficient it's going to be instead of just letting it run wide open and now it's not stopping, it's running people over, it's doing all the stupid stuff, it's creating all these addictions. Like,
Yeah.
why not now just teach people? Because like I said, like I go to a new place and in 5 minutes, I can find the best restaurant for the best price to be able to eat, and I'm a happy dude. Like, I get some food in my belly, and it's a freaking good day.
Yeah.
But it can also create someone that spends like, dude, I was looking at some of our kids' screen time, and they spend like 8, 9 hours a day
Oh,
on
I
their
believe it,
phone, and
no
I'm like,
doubt.
"So what do you get accomplished?" They're like, "Oh, I just, I like TikTok and just other social media apps and stuff like that." And I'm like, "So you didn't learn anything today?" They're like, "Nothing." But I'm like, "You spent 9 hours on your phone, you didn't learn a single thing." They're
Crazy.
like, "No, I think I remember seeing something about, like a cooking recipe or something like that." I'm like, "Wow." Like, that's unreal because it can also be a tool that can teach you anything that you wanna learn, like,
Yeah.
information is so accessible at such a cheap price nowadays, like, you could probably not go to college and be able to get just as much of an education if you know what you're looking for and if you know what you're trying to train yourself for, you know? Like, have you seen people that kinda do it that way now? Like, obviously, like you said, you try to help kids in the workforce and everything, like, is that somewhere that they're trying to go now is they almost, like, teach themselves how to do certain trades and stuff?
I guess we see maybe some kids coming in, like, and have gained some experience, or I think they use AI, or maybe YouTube is a big resource too, to help
Yeah.
them, like, learn more about their trade. We'll use it, like, early on when we're trying to help kids explore careers too. Like, a ton of people make these, like, day in the life videos. It's like day
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
life of
yeah.
an electrician, or, that's a common career, but, we have, other careers that are less common, and help, watching those videos can help them out. There's even some trainings that they will try to do, like, fully virtual trainings where you never actually
Yeah.
physically go anywhere, you just get trained, like, on your laptop, which is a little concerning. That's definitely not my favorite way to,
Yeah.
have an electrician get trained is through a laptop. That's not
Yeah.
not
Okay,
our
well, you gotta see this. Just cut the red wire. I'm sorry. Hang on. Go back. Go back.
But I think for the most part, the reason that a lot of the kids end up coming to our program is because they want something hands-on, and so a lot of the trade schools and stuff that we work with are still very much hands-on, because when they get into the career, that's what they're gonna have to do, and so I don't think it'll be like a downfall of those programs or anything. I think that's just kind of the nature of the trades, is that you gotta wanna be hands-on, you gotta put the phone down. Like, a lot of them have strict, rules and policies against having their phones out, which is probably different than, what they're coming from in high school. So yeah, I think these schools are slightly different because they have to be hands-on for you to actually learn the information.
No, for sure. And I mean, it's like any other good thing. It's about how you use it. So,
Yeah,
like, your phone is like the most high powered gun that you could ever do. If you're pointed a certain way, you're shooting it the right way. Everything looks really good, and
yeah.
you're rolling the right way. You turn the gun around and point it yourself. It's not very good.
We
And so,
do
like, huh?
we try to teach kids how to use AI to help them with, like, job search and stuff. That's something we've
Dude,
been
for
working
sure.
on. Like, find me the jobs posted in the last 5 days in this field in this
Exactly.
city. So
Like,
there are
the
benefits
way it
to it
can
for
grab
sure.
all that information to be able to show it to you, it's like you said, like, I can
Yeah,
find 100 jobs in 5 minutes about a certain like, dude, you could probably even search, like, "Give me a job in this area, makes this much,
yeah,
works this much, has benefits, blah, blah, blah." Like, you can give it all this different types of filters and be able to find stuff
yeah.
instantaneously, dude. Like, that's such a benefit. So, we talk about like, AI is taking us in the future, whatever. Will Smith tried to warn us. We're already 20 years past that, and, like,
Way
obviously,
too
we're
far.
doomed. Now, I did see on here, like, one of the biggest things they were talking about is, like, all the nostalgia and, like, people are trying to almost go backwards a little bit, like, we were always talking about, like, what are we headed to? And I think a lot of people are starting to realize that. I think, spiritually, religiously, I think people have to find that first because you're chasing nothing. You're chasing a broken, sinful world that's just gonna keep dopamine hits, and then,
Yeah.
you're just kinda like a drug addict at that point. But how about the resurgence, and Colin's kinda dabbled in this a little bit, how about the resurgence of, like, Pokemon cards and player cards and Beanie Babies and all this stuff. Like, have you seen all this stuff? Like, how much
Dude,
money people are making off this?
I okay, you'll have maybe you can enlighten me on this. I was at Target the other day, a Friday morning at, like, 10 o'clock probably, and there
Yeah.
was a line from the front of the store to the back of the store, and was so confused as to what was going on. I get to the front of it, and there's a little cone that says, "Line for Pokemon cards,"
Dude,
and there's just people standing in line, and I think they've been there for
hundreds of
hours.
people.
Why? What are
Yeah.
they doing?
So dude, I'm way off peanut, but and maybe you can start kind of typing some prompts into
Yeah,
ChatGPT, like where did this start with the whole Pokemon cards? Like, why did it become such a big deal? And like, what are I know like Logan Paul maybe just set a record for he sold like a Pokemon card for $16 million. Dude, I used to have buckets
it's
of
crazy.
Pokemon cards,
Oh, yeah.
buckets of like football, baseball, all those tops cards and everything like that. I don't really know where it came from, like, the Pokemon Go thing kinda came back or whatever, but, like, I'm telling you, like, I think we get to a certain part and we're looking so far in the future that we're like, "Wow, it's just, like, it's empty, it's virtual, it's animated, like, nothing's real," and then they turn around and you're like, "Okay, I can hold a Pokemon card." Like, it kinda gives you that feeling or whatever. Like, we were talking about some of those Instagram accounts that you can look on that are really cool with, like, AI and everything. Well, there's one, it's called, like, 90s Forever or something like that,
Mhm.
and it's AI videos, and it's like, you wake up on a Saturday morning in the '90s, and, like, you wake up
That's
and you go
cool.
eat, like, Frosted Flakes and, like, cartoons, stuff like that. So, I think people understood, like, how real everything was back there, so now maybe it's like it's their way of kinda, like, living in the past a little bit. But what does old, ChatGPT say about that? Because, dude, you're right, like, it is exploded. Like, people are now and there's, like, rating systems. So our head coach actually kinda sells baseball cards and stuff like that,
Mm, mhm.
and he said that you have to send your cards into this rating system, and there's like 4 or 5 different companies that do it. But even the companies are rated on like a star system. So if you send it to like the 1-star company and you get it back, well, you're only gonna get this much for it. But there's
Mm.
like a 5-star company that sends back, and if they give you like a 5-star rating, that's where you get like a
That's like
$16 million Pokemon card. I said, dude, that's like the
best of
top
the
of the
best.
top or whatever. Like, there's people that make millions of dollars off this.
That's crazy. So what ChatGPT is saying is that it's a mixture. First of all, great question, Alex. And then it is
Dude,
very
ChatGPT, they're like,
insightful.
"You are so smart, Alex, let me tell you."
Saying there's a mixture of a few different factors. So one is like nostalgia, and that the generation that grew up with Pokemon is now at the age where they have a lot of disposable income to go and spend on like things that they wanted to have as a
Yeah, or they're,
kid.
like, lonely in their basement because they never do anything.
All they do is scroll and see kids pulling Pokemon cards. And they're like, "Wait, what is that?" And then obviously influencers and like live stream openings where, you see people opening packs and trying to pull a card. And it's kind of the same
Yep.
thing of like chasing a dopamine
Dude, like,
hit. It's like playing
streamers
the
and all,
lottery.
yeah. Dude, people will stream all day long, and that's all they do. They go by, and they have, like, gloves on, and they open it up, they're like, "Oh my god." And you're like, "Dude,
Dang.
that's what you're gonna do for 12 hours?"
This said that some people, they just buy these things and then they
Yep.
sell the sealed product
Yeah.
online. They don't even open it. It's
Yeah.
just
Dude,
because
yeah.
it's so hard to
Like,
get it.
yes, and then they just turn around and sell for, like, this says, like, a 75% increase or something like that.
It's absolutely stupid.
So one seller reported over $18,000 in revenue from sports cards over a year, and the fees of the shipping, he invested 27,000, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to find out some of the
I have something
that
about
is just
Pokemon
crazy.
Go after you find.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 tell me, tell me.
Okay. I don't know
So,
if you've
hang on,
seen this.
yeah, my bad. I was trying to look at dude, people could like, so the average right now, people that are selling 6 months average revenue per month is $112,000 for people that sell high-end sports cards right now. So, every month for like a 6 months average, so, I mean, so what you'd have to, so that'd be like 300, so people are making 3 to $400,000 a year for like your top end guys selling baseball cards and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That is unreal. Okay, what's the thing about Pokemon guy? This is crazy, man.
So I don't know if you've seen this, but one of my coworkers was telling me about it randomly. I have no idea why it came up. People that were playing Pokemon Go, apparently without
Colin.
knowing it, were creating a like 3D scan of the entire world. So everywhere that you were walking around playing Pokemon Go with your phone out,
Oh, it was
your
picking it up?
camera was recording and saving all of that
Wow.
information, and now
That
that
is
stuff has
crazy.
been used to make these, like, AR maps, and that's how all these little, like, drones and stuff now know how to get around, is because the only
Wow.
way to, like, create maps of that detail and then update, regularly enough is to have the whole world in on it without them knowing.
Dude,
So
and that's the
all
way
that
to do it, and
information.
then now you have, like, facial recognition and all that kinda stuff, and then they're like, I think one of the AI apps, like Claude or something like that, you can take a virtual tour of something, and it'll create a 3D animated map that you can now go back through. So, like, all those virtual tours that are from the ground level, like, as you're going, it scans, and you can take a video of a room, and it'll create, like, an entire image of the entire thing.
It's the same thing. We're just, like, feeding it and pumping it information, and
And
that's
just yeah.
all
And
getting
so I
stored.
think that's what's helping it is, like, so many people are like me, it's like, "I love tacos at 3 p.m." Like, "What's the best place to get it's like, so it's learning everything about me. Yeah, multiple 6 figures per month, dude,
Wow.
6 figures a month being able to flip these cards, stuff like that. And it's funny too, it's like I would have never thought that I would wanna walk around on a daily basis with a camera and just show people what I'm doing and just stream constantly. But, like,
Yeah.
now you have people like that Kai Cent guy who's going 24 hours a day, 360, like, he's sleeping, and I saw it the other
He
day.
streams
He dude, yes. So he had another big time stream speed maybe or something like that because I think they got in a fight or whatever, and he stayed over at his house and they streamed, so they were playing video games till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then they went and laid down and went to sleep, and they were just videotaping it. So they were streaming while they were sleeping.
That's
And
crazy,
I
and
was
I'm
like,
sure
that's
there's a bunch
kind of
of
a weird
dumbasses in there, like, just
dude. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people are
yeah,
watching the stream, like commenting while they're asleep. Nothing's going on. There's no music. There's no nothing. Like they are literally asleep. And everybody's like commenting and like they can gift subs. Like they're just giving money while
yeah,
these dudes are sleeping. Like it's just an unreal thing. And that's another thing too. It's like with, like, people watching those streamers, it's like somebody will watch on a camera somebody else playing a video game. So it's like you're watching someone else watch their screen and play a video game at the same time. It's like I feel like it's just this endless rabbit hole of once again, it's like we're the most social that we've ever been, but we're also the most like what do you call it? Like we're the most like secluded that we've ever been at the
distant,
same time
yeah,
too.
secluded,
Yeah, distant and stuff like that. So there's not as
yeah,
much connection. But then at the same time, it's like you can use your connections, you can use your online platforms and everything like that to sell Pokemon cards and make $100,000 a year and stuff like that, or $100,000 a month
yeah,
in some of these cases, which is just, dude, absolutely insane. Because could you just imagine if you were a kid and like me, like I literally had these like metal tin can boxes of
should
Pokemon
kept
cards
'em.
and baseball cards. Can you imagine if I'm like, hey, mom and dad, like just keep this in the garage for 20 years and I pull it out? And it's like, dude, I
Probably had
could have
a
made
blue
six
eyes
figures.
white dragon in there.
Oh, dude, I had a couple of the holographic cards and every kind of stuff like that. Like now, usually my parents were like, "Yeah, we're not spending that kind of money on Pokemon cards." So I got like the 99-cent pack or whatever. But I got me a couple reflective Pikachu's in there that
There's a
I
couple,
could probably cash in a little bit.
20
But
bucks.
now they're buried in a landfill somehow or something
Yeah.
like that. Do you think somebody saw that? Like you just see these crazy situations of people that see stuff and they're like, I'm gonna go find that. Like I'm gonna go hunt that down. Like the Pokemon Go thing. Like people love like the geocaching and like running out and stuff like that. You think people were like, "Huh, I wonder where my Pokemon cards are," and went back to, like, a landfill and just started digging through to see if they could find stuff? Dude, surely if they're like, "I can make $100,000 this month and all I gotta do is dig through some trash," like, no doubt I'll go do that.
Yeah, I could definitely see some people going, like, into the parents' basement or attic or whatever
Dude, they're like
and
"Mom
searching,
and dad,
just
where are the cards? Like,
yeah.
where are my
I know you
Pokemon
have
cards?
them.
I know you
It's
have
tearing
them."
families apart right now.
That's freaking nuts. But I don't know, I guess it always comes back to I think the only thing that worries me about, like the whole AI thing and like we're integrating all this technology, it's like for me, I love to use it because it keeps me in touch with my friends. It keeps us doing stuff like this. It allows us to connect with people we never have. So like I feel like we're using it to our advantage
Yeah.
to be able to meet new people, hear stories and stuff like that. But then I wonder to what degree, like what do you think the percentage is? So like you take everybody in the US right now,
Okay.
any age, anybody that has access to any kind of social media technology platform, what's the percentage of you got 100% of people, what's the percentage of people that are using it to make them better? Not to brag on us, but like using it in the way that we are, like making connection, doing things we never thought we could do with technology. And how many people you think are in that like endless pit of dopamine hit and they're lost and they're just chasing the wrong thing, going on the wrong path? Like, what do you think the percentage is, good and bad?
Maybe this is
Oof, in today's
pessimistic, but I would say, like, 80% bad and 20%
wow,
good.
80, yeah,
It's just
it's
so
like
addictive, like,
it
you
is.
just
And
have
like
to, like,
think about us,
constantly yeah,
like you and I are very productive people in this society. Like we wanna be good husbands, we wanna be good fathers, like we try really hard and probably go above and beyond most people, and look how easily we can snap into being I can
yeah.
watch reels for an hour like it was
Oh, yeah,
nothing
and then you're like,
instead
"Why
of
did I do that?" Like,
dude,
I
I
just
know, and
wasted
it's
an
like
hour. I
9 o'clock
could've
at
been with
night,
my
it's like, I
kids
gotta
or
be up
doing
at
whatever.
5, like,
Yeah,
yeah, dude, I could've been like, kids are in bed, it's like, "Okay, why can't I go read my" like, it's so easy to look at my phone, something that's gonna lead me down no path, it's
yeah.
going to teach me nothing, but I can't pop my Bible open at something and make a decision that's gonna last into eternity, into the next life, and all that kinda stuff, so it's like, to me, it's almost like you're being tricked by I mean, you are literally being tricked by the devil, like to go into something that you feel like is going to make you like you feel like you've done something, but you get this false sense of accomplishment because like how dirty do you feel every single time when you look at your phone and all of a sudden you pop up and like an hour's gone by?
Oh, I
I've never
hate
had
it.
a good feeling from that, dude. Every time, right?
Do you get the for some reason, I get mine on Sundays. Do you get the notification for, like, what your screen time was the previous week?
No, but so I have mine like automatically on the side right here. And
Mm,
so I do look at it. I look at the weekly one and I see if I've went up or down because it gives you the percentage or whatever. And like even that and like this is why like I've been wanting to kind of have this conversation is because like mine's went up because school's slowing down. There's not as much to do as like
mhm.
paperwork wise or anything. And then like football, we haven't really like started like diving into anything. And how easy it is for me to double my screen time in 1 week, like is just absolutely
Exactly.
unreal. But then I think about like the really important things like And I, thank God, but I've done a really good job. Like I come home, spend a lot of time with my kids and my wife and everything like that. But then like how many times could I come home and supplement that with reading a book about
Yeah.
finances and other stuff that I don't
Doing
understand,
a chore.
getting in my Bible, like anything like that, like praying, like doing something that is going to legitimately better my life, this life, next life, anything like that, and
Right.
better the people around me. Or like, dude, I'm telling you, every time that happens on my phone, I have that false sense of accomplishment. Like, man, I feel so guilty right now because I wasted so much time. I just sat on my butt for an hour and did absolutely nothing, but I got lost in like a moon landing conspiracy or something like that, which, we didn't do it, but it's
And
okay.
most of the
Anyway.
time, you get an hour in, and then you were like, "Wait, I don't know one thing I just watched in the last hour."
Exactly. Like,
No clue.
there was zero retention,
Yeah.
and everything I watched was like, and it's so sad because I feel my mind doing this is like, Facebook will kinda try to give you some videos that are a little bit longer, but if I look and it looks like it's gonna take longer than 30 seconds, I automatically skip
Mhm.
it no matter how interesting it is. How crazy is that?
And
Like,
this is the
I'm
world our
only
kids are
looking for
growing
those
up
quick.
in. Like, we
Dude,
grew up in a
and that's
different
what
world, and it's still getting to us.
like, for me, I think that's why I can detach myself from it so quickly is because I grew up in a world where, like, dude, I'm going outside and playing sports, like, sun up to sundown. I'm riding my bike. I'm going to play sports. I'm going to play basketball. Like, and everybody around me was doing that. I think where I'm going to struggle and where I'm looking down the road is when my kid's 13 and he wants to go to the park to go play basketball with his friends, but they're all playing video games. Well, he's gonna look like a loser, and then nobody's gonna go with him.
Right.
And then he's gonna go over there, and then he's gonna play video games, and he's gonna come home and wonder why he can't do that. And he's gonna be like, "Well, what's Minecraft? What's this? What's Roblox? Stuff like that." I'm like, "Dude, you're never gonna find out. I'm sorry. I may
Yeah.
look like a jerk. I may look like that really really stupid dad, but like, you're not gonna figure that out because once again, you guys are gonna sit in a dark room for 3 hours and accomplish nothing." When you could go outside, you go swim in the pool, you go wrestle, you go do whatever. Like just go be active or go do little things like that that are then going to benefit you when you're 30, 40, or 50 years old and you're not wasting your life away looking at a screen.
And you're gonna have, like, childhood memories. You're gonna build those, like, the core
100%.
memories and stuff. There's no core memories when you're, like, playing a video game or whatever. I shouldn't say none. There's, like, I definitely have some memories
Yeah,
with my brother,
sports
but
games, no doubt. Like you
yeah,
play some sports games back in the day, like it could get really intense.
yeah.
And then inevitably we were like, hey, like let's go play real football and figure this out. Like you get pissed off.
Right.
Like me, I'd always get pissed off, like, let's go play real football and find out who really win. Like I'm just okay, meathead. Like what the heck are you doing?
Yeah, you would play for, like, an hour or 2, and then you were done. You weren't playing, like, until 2 a.m. and doing all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was totally different.
Well, and like that's what because me right now, like I don't plan on my kid having a phone. I
Mm.
don't know when that age is gonna be
Yeah.
because like just every time I weigh the pros, I feel like it's an episode of The Office. I make a pros and cons list, but like I can never find that many pros of okay, they got to get a hold of me. Well, once again, God willing, I'm gonna be working in the school district where my kids are gonna go to school. I can walk over to their school or
Right.
they're gonna be right down the hall from me whenever they get in a certain situation. And so it's like, okay, like maybe I need to see where they are, but hopefully, once again, God willing, they're gonna be super active. They're gonna be playing sports, they're gonna be doing different activities and stuff like that. So by the time they come home, it's just gonna be from practice or games or stuff like that, or whatever they decide to do,
Yeah.
they're gonna do something. I'm not gonna give them all that free time. So it's like to me, it's just I can't convince myself that they need that. I can't convince myself that they need to be playing all these cool hip new games that everybody's playing because I'm like, why? What do they get out of that? And I don't think that's me being a jerk. I think people mask, well, let them have fun. I think that's just a cover for no, you're a terrible parent because you don't want to teach them what's really going to help them 20 years down the road. You just want to make sure you don't want to piss them off when they're 13 and they hate you or whatever. They're not going to
Right.
hate you. They're just saying that because their friends are getting stuff that they're not.
Yeah. And then, yeah, once all their friends start getting phones, it's like, "Oh, why can't this kid get a phone? He's poor or he's"
Exactly.
yeah, it's tricky.
Well, because like, you see people like or for me, I see people over in the elementary, like, I see elementary age kids
Oh,
that
yeah.
have phones with TikTok on 'em, like, how? Well, we
Fully
put the
up.
filters on there. Okay, so you're telling me well, like, are they watching Bill Nye the Science Guy constantly? Because that's okay if you can prove that. If they're watching Cool Math or anything like if they're learning something from every single video that my kid won't learn from sitting in biology class, then by all means, I love it. Like, I will eat my words on that one. But I highly doubt, even with that filter, your kid's probably not getting to something or able to search something or their friend showing them some way to get around some kind of
Oh, yeah.
firewall or blockade or something like that. Like, kids and that's what can be frustrating about today's society is they'll work twice as hard to get around the rule than just doing it the right way one time.
Yeah.
Like they won't measure twice, cut once. They'll look around for just a way not to do it. They'll look around for a way to get somebody else to cut or measure or anything like that. So it's like I think that's what scares me is we're gonna get to the point to where, like, we're gonna be so old school that, like, when is it gonna kinda bite us in the ass a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they're growing up in this, like, AI and technology world,
Oh, yeah,
and you
and
mentioned this
like
you mentioned earlier that it's, like, eroding, like, problem-solving skills and critical thinking and all that because you just type it into ChatGPT, and you don't even have to use your
mhm.
brain. All you have to know is, "How does this work?" And you like, I saw a Google ad the other day for, like, take a picture of your math homework to, like, solve it, and it's like,
Dude,
"Wait,
and it
what?"
solves the whole thing, and you're like, "What?" It
And they're
like,
gonna be able to
okay,
show
that
their work and everything and have 0
everything.
understanding of what happened.
Yep. And then they're gonna turn that paper in and then fail the test, and the teacher's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, sorry, I just, I guess I just forgot, or I have anxiety or stuff like that." And then they're gonna mask it behind anxiety or depression or anything like that. It's like, no, 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 you just don't know how to look at a problem and find multiple ways to try to get to a solution. You just see something and it can't be solved by typing it into AI or getting on your phone or anything like that. It can't be solved by something else. It's got to be solved by you, and you haven't practiced doing that, so therefore you're not able to do it. And so that's where people are going wrong is they don't know how to handle problems. Like, and I mean, any kind of respectable life that you want is going to have problems. So if you don't learn how to deal with that at a certain age, especially at a younger age, and then you try to attack it when you're 30, when there's real life consequences, like too late, dude.
Like,
Way too late at that point. And I think that's what we're going for is like some kind of automated world that's going to solve all of our problems until we actually want to do something of value to where we have to put the phone down or we have to close the computer and then we have to go do it and then you're not able to do it. And then what? Like who's there to help you at that point?
Justin, I feel like we've been up on an old man soapbox
I know.
for
Dude, we're on
53 minutes.
53 minutes about that. Dude, I love it, man. I just love having good conversations, and it's just like, people talk about like, I'm not big into like I don't wanna bring up like politics stuff. I'd rather talk about stuff like this. I'd rather talk about like, how do we be better people? How do we make the world a better place for our kids? How do we make sure our kids are better
Yeah.
than our dads were to us and how we wanna be to them, and then how are they gonna be better dads than we were and stuff like that? Like, that's the stuff that moves the needle for me is making sure that we pass our kids this world that feels like it's going to hell in a handbasket. Like, how do we at least keep them on a path to where maybe they can make a little bit bigger difference than we did? So, dude, it's always fun when we get to talk about this. But I mean, if you made it this far, guys, if you're a 30-year-old person in an 85-year-old body, like you feel like we are, and you're out in your front porch reading your newspaper, like, get out of here, quit pooping on my yard. If you've made it 53 minutes and 59 54 minutes right on the dot now, if you've made it this far in, like, subscribe, get Good Times Bad Friends rolling. If you know any guests, send them our way. If you want to be a guest, send you our way, and we would love to have you on. Just don't freaking back out on us. Show up, come in here. Don't be like Levi and make fun of my camera because my camera looks really good. So why can't we have Levi
You
on
gotta
now so he
come
can
see
make fun of me?
Justin.
I was about to say, come bring Ben on so he can make fun of us. Come get Mason and all these guys on that are playing golf so we can go play golf together. Like, we got a lot of big things planned. We're already playing the next in-person podcast, so we got to make that happen. Even if you don't want to go play golf, Alex, you may need to join us for the next time because that was legit. Colin's got all the setup. We got soundboards. I feel like we're Joe Rogan without the millions of people that listen to our podcast, but we're having a good time, so that's all that matters. So
And we got some
until
bad
next
friends
time,
along
man,
the way.
we got a lot of bad friends along the way. A lot of good moments with some bad friends, good times with some
Good
bad friends coming
times.
along the way. So till next time, my dude. See you later, man. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. Call in, ditched us. Oh yeah, I gotta stop. I almost hit leave. That would have been really, really bad. All right. So what you're gonna want to do, Alex, you're gonna want to hit the red phone and you're gonna make sure you're fully uploaded.